Hi, I'm Moshe, and this is Polarity. It's a unique and weird two-player game about magnets, and on top of it all, it's quite attractive. Get it? Attractive? Magnets? No? Nothing? Polarity comes in a canvas tube and contains one playing mat made of the same rough canvas material as the tube, 52 black and white magnet pieces, one red centerpiece, and one set of probably the worst written rules ever. Luckily, there's a website which does a much better job at explaining the game. Polarity is quite a difficult game to explain, so let's just jump into a game and I'll explain as we go. The red disc is placed in the center dot. The 52 magnets are divided evenly between black and white players. White begins by placing 5 foundation discs around the playing mat. Black then follows suit and white begins to play.
On your turn, you must attempt to place a standing disc. This is a disc leaning off the magnetic field exerted by one of your foundation discs. If you succeed or cause a fault, it's then your opponent's turn. As you place standing discs, the playing area will get very crowded very fast. In fact, one major strategy is placing your discs so that they're in your opponent's way as much as possible. You will run out of foundation discs to stand from. At this point, you're going to do either an intentional or unintentional fault. If during your turn a standing disc falls flat, your turn ends immediately. That disc acts as a foundation disc from now on. This is the only way to get more foundation discs. If a disc from the field snaps to the disc you're attempting to place, those are returned to your hand and your turn ends immediately. If you cause already placed discs to snap together, your turn ends immediately, and your opponent attempts to convert those discs into points. These snaps can be either kisses, where discs touch by the sides, or columns, where the discs gather in a stack, or mixes, which are combinations of the two. Either way, the opponent must then try to convert those discs. This is done by grabbing one of the discs in the group and lifting it up, snapping everything into a single column, which they must then place their color up somewhere on the field. This column can be used as a foundation for standing discs. Remember that attempting conversions can cause further faults, which must then be dealt with in the same way as other faults. One way the game ends is if you cause the red disc to either leave the center dot or snap to another disc, which would mean you lose immediately. Another way to end the game is if all played discs are of the same color and that player would win. Otherwise you play back and forth until either player places their last disc. At that point you count points. Each column, that's a minimum of 2 discs in a stack, is worth the amount of discs in it to the owning player. Each disc you still hold in your hand is worth 1 negative point. And as usual, the player with the more points is the winner. As it's basically a game about magnets, the game feels very intuitive, and although it's very difficult to explain, it's very easy to get. Polarity is a great game between opponents of similar skill. There's fantastic tension in every single turn when the field gets crowded, and you risk causing a major snap if you drop your disc. Tension. Magnets? Still nothing?